En la encrucijada de las culturas donde se mezclan los vientos de Miami y la esencia de raíces colombianas y medioorientales, surge una voz capaz de narrar las tempestades y serenidades del clima y la vida misma. Vanessa Abuchaibe. Acogida en los brazos de la meteorología y la comunicación, esta afamada presentadora bilingüe ha danzado con las palabras y las pantallas en cadenas televisivas de renombre, como ABC, Univisión, Telemundo y CBS. Vanessa no solo ha sido reconocida con un Emmy, sino que también se ha adentrado en el universo de la producción y reportaje para la BBC Mundo. Con diplomas ondeando en comunicación y meteorología y tras liderar como meteoróloga jefa en Estrella TV, ella navega por los mares de la filantropía, la instrucción física y, lo más importante, por el amor incondicional de su familia. Bienvenida, Vanessa Abuchaibe.
Vanessa, thank you so much for making the time to chat with us today.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm happy to be here.
Well, you know, this whole podcast is really about diving into the mind of the people that we interview, because we see them achieving, you know, success, and we know that there's a certain way of thinking to get there. But let's go to the beginning at least. Because you're right now in the media every day, telling people what to expect in terms of the weather, right? But how did that came about? When was the first time you actually got inspired to be in the media? Was that the thing you wanted to do?
Yeah, I had a dream to always either help people and something to do with science and the weather. So when I combined those ideas and having my father watch the Weather Channel and Discovery Channel at home all the time, despite them being immigrants, so we learning English, you know, along the way with these shows, but they were mostly about science and weather. I think that impacted me the most. And so I said, you know what, after these hurricanes would come through my hometown, Miami, Florida, I was glued to the TV just like everyone else to make sure that we were safe, that we were okay. I always wondered, you know, if, you know, all these forecasting abilities that are being brought up by the English-speaking stations were just as legit in the Spanish stations. We had the Weather Channel, but we didn't have it in Spanish. Yeah. I'm like, I wish there was more ability to keep our people safe. So fast forward to the fact that my first opportunity as a meteorologist on TV came about in a place where I dreamed to be, which was close to Oklahoma, Amarillo, Texas. And I went from Miami, Florida to Amarillo, and they said, well, welcome. This is Telemundo, and you are going to be the only Spanish-speaking meteorologist here for about 500,000 people. You know, it's a growing city. And I said, what do you mean I'm the only one? There's no competition. There's no, you know, there's nothing else. And I felt such a responsibility and at the same time authority to keep the Latino-speaking culture, the Spanish-speaking culture safe, because they wouldn't even message me. This is the beginning of Facebook. They wouldn't even, you know, have social media. I couldn't do live or anything like that, but they would message me and say, hey, we can't understand the white guy on TV. No podemos entenderlo. So I felt a need and a responsibility to, even on my days off, I would be on vacation, and I had this desire to help my people keep them safe by telling them, hey, go take shelter now, there's a storm coming, why don't you keep your cars safe? You know, you might get your business destroyed, so grab the most valuable things and keep them safe in your safe place. So I learned so much in those 3 to 4 years that I was there in that small town, but very loving, that I wanted to continue to help people. And I helped them in the way that I loved about forecasting, you know, for that area specifically, and maybe in a bigger area, and I continued to work in the industry for about 13 years till I was a chief meteorologist at my last job, Estrella TV full-time. Now I'm doing it freelancing because I'm a mom of 2. But I still love and care for all the community, and I don't know why, but I've always had this desire to help. Maybe it's a cultural thing that's ingrained in us. Maybe I could have been a doctor too, because I love that, anything about science, but that was my story. My story is to help people through my forecasting abilities, which I know, it's not always perfect, but we work in probabilities and we always want to keep people safe. And that was my mission. And I'm so grateful to have done that for so many years.
Yeah, I observe, and you speak with a lot of passion,
Yes.
This is your 13th year, right, that
Yes.
you're doing this. And I don't think that people could be, over a decade if they're not that passionate about what you're doing. So how critical do you think staying passionate about what you do has plays a role in your success? And maybe anything else that people may be looking to do.
Yes, and that's the key, I believe, in a lot of successful stories. My thing has always been that, science and TV, broadcasting in general, but also helping others. And that combination of the three makes me happy. That's what drives me to go to work. And it's not work, it's like my fun time, my happy time. And I get to be paid for something that I love and to help, my community. So I feel good all around by chasing that passion and that dream that I had since I was a little girl, watching the movie Twister and wanting to be Helen Hunt, but still helping my people, So I'm always going to be passionate because this is what drives me. Now, if I didn't choose a career that I didn't like that much, I think since I am a positive person and I try to, those words of affirmation that I wake up with and all of that, I always try to find the positive side, the positive angle to all situations. But I'm happy and I'm lucky to share that I was able to be successful and win an Emmy in 2016 because of my work not being my work. It wasn't my work. It was just me, helping others. And
so important. Thank you for highlighting that. Now, obviously, most people go through some challenges and struggles on their way to achieving where they're at.
Yes.
Right now, you're 13 years in something that you love. Can you share with us some of those moments that where things were not necessarily going your way, and how the mindset, like you're saying, looking at the positive of every situation helped you? Can you go back to those initial maybe days that you embarked on the journey to be where you're at today?
Yes, and it's amazing how we can be so resilient, like you said that word earlier, but we can be very resilient. I'm very lucky that I was born to parents that both had a great education in Colombia, but they came to this country at almost 30 years old, my mom, and at almost 40, 42 years old, my dad. And so they're in their 30s, 40s, you have your life already set in Colombia, and they came here to live.
It's like starting a new game, right?
And they were like, what in the world is this? So my sister and I, we're first generation here. No clue what this whole financial world is either. They're blind leading the blind. We're trying to
fall in the ditch. No, you remind me of a saying that one of my mentors says, but I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Right. No, it's true. So we're just, struggling here and there. And my dad had everything financially perfect in Colombia, but here it's a whole different ballgame. And we started to help our parents. And all of a sudden, after I graduated, I'm seeking, finally my first job on TV. I'm going to apply. My dad gets prostate cancer. And I said, oh no, what do I do now? I just accepted my first TV meteorologist gig in Amarillo, Texas. Do I go or do I stay with my dad and help him through, the process? And now my sister and I always want to be next to him 24/7. So luckily I have doctors in the family. So no, we're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. And they said, we're going to Chicago, where all the doctors in my family are. And they helped him, and he said, go. My parents have been extremely supportive of our careers. And I said, okay, but I'm going to come visit you every vacation day that I can and every weekend that I can. And I did. And we were an amazing support system, even if we were a little bit farther apart. But that was really difficult point for me in my life to whether do I chase my dream right now, this moment that God sent to me. I believe I had many opportunities, but this one was the one that was a little bit more difficult to make. And then he put this obstacle. I call it obstacle, but Not really, because I thank God that, you know, my dad is okay. He went through the whole entire treatment, and we were able to be there throughout every step of the way, my sister and I. So for me, it's been a little bit of a struggle financially, but that was never, ever an issue because of student loans or scholarships. Luckily, my sister and I were a little book nerds, book smart, so we got a lot of scholarships, and then we did get a couple of loans that I'm still paying. So little by little, you know, I'm still making that American dream come true. And that is why my parents made this sacrifice. And I totally get it. And I don't care about all the struggles because they brought us here and they gave me this opportunity. And I wouldn't have had an Emmy or all the awards and everything like that and all the experiences that I have today if it wasn't for them saying, you know what, let's leave all of our stuff in Colombia and come to the United States and give them the best life we think that they're going to have. And I've been so grateful for them no matter the struggles. So that it's something that has always been in my mind because it's a little difficult sometimes to understand, like, but why are those kids okay? You know, why did they were fine going to college and they don't have any debt or anything like that, and why? But it's priceless what they gave to us. It's priceless, the love and the support that we have unconditionally from them. So they have always been the best unconditional, selfless love for my sister and I, and that is because, and that is why I am who I am today.
Yeah, you know, the fact that you can share that, it lets people know, people that are watching right now, that sometimes they look at somebody, right, especially on TV, where everything is perfect, the lighting is perfect, the sound is perfect. It's almost like giving a perfect life, and it's important for them to know that that's not the case, right? And we all go through challenges and struggles, and that is how you overcome. And that's why I wanted you to tell us, you know, not just all the good stuff. And even, I mean, I've learned to appreciate even the negatives, because there's always something that, there are big lessons that are being learned from that, as long as you learn from that.
Right.
Right? But I want to go back to that moment when obviously things are going south in terms of your dad's health and all. Did your dad encourage you to pursue your dream?
Yes. And that is one of the most beautiful things I will always keep with me, both my mom and my dad. But he didn't have that opportunity to chase his desire to become a priest because his family had many factories and businesses, and they were really wealthy in Colombia, and my grandfather wanted him to continue that legacy. They came from Palestine very poor, and they built the rags to riches in Colombia, but that business was never his thing. He just wanted to serve people and to be a priest. I thank God that he didn't become that, because then I wouldn't be here, but that is part of his story. So he had that block or that trauma or that, you know, hang up in his life that he said, Jessica and Vanessa, my sister and I, what do you want? And whatever you want doesn't matter, but you got to go for it with all your, you know, all your might and all your heart, and be the best you can be in whatever you want to do. Today, my sister is a psychologist in one of the most prestigious hospitals in Newport Beach, California. And I have 13 years in an amazing career in the media, and all thanks to my dad. He has been an inspiration, not only to chase our dreams, but also in lifestyle. Never gets angry quickly, never, you know, talks badly to anyone.
Wow, that's powerful.
It's extremely powerful because it's extremely
I
hard
mean,
sometimes.
Well, look, I was kind of wrapping up, but now we're going to continue this because most people who go through life, maybe one of them is just reacting, visceral reactions. And then I heard a very successful person say, one of the things I'm most proud about is being able to be aware of my emotions. And the fact that right now you say your dad is probably very aware now of his emotional states and
Yes.
how to react. So can you elaborate on that? What you've learned from your dad not getting mad?
It's beautiful to watch in extremely stressful situations. And you have this person that brings light, positivity,
Calm.
calm in the storm, you
Yeah.
know? And it's beautiful, and it's extremely emotionally intelligent of him, after reading about a lot of psychology in life, to have that composure despite people maybe taking advantage of him within the family or something, like, because of his kindness, nobleness. I think he is the greater person by keeping his composure, and I'm like, I want to be like that. And I've absorbed that the most. My mom's a little bit more emotional, protective. You know, she is the mother hen, and there needs to be a balance. I feel sometimes in marriages.
Sure.
But he brings that composure that I feel like we all humans need or should take in order to succeed in life as well. If you react to every little thing, or you take everything personal, I mean, I think it blurs you from your true vision. It blurs you from your true goals, and that is something that no matter what has come throughout my life and in my career, and maybe some negative comments, you know, we have like a million positive comments, but we always remember that one bad person that said this, and I'm like, no, you know, and I continue to do as my dad does and rely on faith, and which for me has been an amazing lesson that he hasn't taught me, that I have just absorbed from watching him.
Yeah, well, you know, as I am listening, I'm thinking, you read the weather, you educate or you inform people about the weather, and it has to do with thermostats and thermometers.
Yeah.
So in this whole thing about emotion, either you are the thermometer or you're the thermostat.
That's true.
Right?
I like that.
So in this case, your dad's is being more of a thermostat. He sets
Yeah.
the tone instead of just being a thermometer, just reacting to
Yes.
whatever it is.
Yes.
And I think that as we move more towards being a thermostat, we can have more control of situations. So.
Exactly. I love that analogy. I haven't heard that. And you know what? It's amazing. And I think with daily practice, we can
Absolutely.
accomplish that. Takes practice, right?
Probably one of the toughest things to conquer.
Yes.
I think it's the whole thing of emotion. That's why I wanted to highlight it. And thanks for bringing that up.
Yes.
So with that being said, we'll come to wrapping this up. But is there any message you want to give to women, mothers who are trying to be entrepreneurs, and people that are just in general trying to pursue in search of their dreams?
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing that I truly believe that is extremely essential in your life. You have to find one or two people in your life that believe in you, no matter what. No matter if you really don't have the talent, but if that person tells you, you know what? Yes, you did that. Go ahead, keep going. I feel like people need other people sometimes to get encouraged. Some people don't need it, but a lot of people do. And even if you think, no, I got this, I'm very confident. But to have that emotional support from my parents or from a couple of friends that said, yes, you can do it. And when I wasn't that great at the beginning, I mean, like, oh my gosh, I see my videos at the beginning, I'm like, that wasn't that great. You know, I'm like, oh gosh, I hope it never airs ever again. They just sent me an old video, and I was just like, no. But there was somebody out there saying, yes, you did that, you know. And I said, okay, I'm gonna keep going, you know, like, and you keep going, till you flourish. And you need that, and that's the same thing that I hope to apply to my two little ones at home. Sometimes she can't sing that well. She wants to sing. And I said, you know what? That's beautiful. Keep going. And that encouragement, I feel like, feeds the soul, feeds your purpose,
Absolutely.
and feeds your success to be.
Well, let's end it with the high five.
Yes!
The high five on a positive note. So, hey, follow Vanessa. We'll put the handles around this video. Make sure that you share it. I'm sure there are a lot of golden nuggets people can use to help them on their journey. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Thank you.